Hello everyone. Been getting a lot of questions about how do you make a sandwich. Not like how does one make a sandwich, but how do I personally make a sandwich. So today I'm going to show you guys how I make a sandwich. First of all, start out with the bread. One slice on the bottom there. You know, I'm using whole wheat, but you can use whatever kind you want. You know, as I've grown older, I've realized that bread really only tastes like one thing, and that's bread, and you really can't tell a difference. Unless it's got those nasty oats and stuff on top, you're gonna be just fine. So next up, we're going to add our meat. This is gonna be a ham sandwich, so I'm adding some of this ham. It's nice and thick, okay? You don't want any of that deli thin sliced ham, alright? That stuff's for weak-minded city folk who use automatic car washes. Okay, next up is cheese. This is some Munster cheese. The thing about cheese is, you know, you don't want to taste the cheese, but if it weren't there, you want to notice. So you don't actually want to be tasting the cheese when you eat the sandwich, but if the sandwich didn't have cheese, you should be able to notice. That's the sign of a good cheese. Another thing, don't put 2 slices of cheese on your sandwiches, okay? Anyone who puts more than 1 slice of cheese on a sandwich is the kind of person who takes jokes too far, and they're not funny, and they're just too much. Next step, this is gonna get kind of tricky. We're putting on some nice, just classic yellow mustard here. What I like to do, first of all, make sure it's not runny. When you start to pour the mustard, it'll usually glob up here in a little pool, and you don't want that. You don't want any mustard pools. So what I like to do is I'll just kind of start in a circle here. Now I'm not pouring anything, but I'm just going around in a circle, just working my nerves up, and then I'm slowly gonna start squeezing. Right there we go. Spiral down to the center, spiral down. There we go, into the middle, and it's perfect. This has prevented any pooling of the mustard. It's got a nice even spread. That's exactly what you want. And next up is lettuce. So I'm just gonna plop these bad boys down on here. Now I don't have any tomatoes. If I did have tomatoes, I would put one on here, just a slice. Tomatoes are good, okay? And it's fine if you disagree with that, but anyone who's like, oh, I cannot do tomatoes, you know, you just need to get over yourself. Grow up. It's tomato, okay? It's not gonna kill you. Now we're gonna slap the final piece of bread down, and that's our sandwich. Now one thing I forgot to note was, as far as condiments go, you know, I mentioned I'm using yellow mustard. That's perfectly acceptable. If you like mayonnaise, you're wrong. Mayonnaise is a putrid, vile, disgusting condiment that should never have even been invented. If you enjoy mayonnaise as just a pure ingredient, you should be put down. You do not have a right to life. You have defiled yourself and you have sinned against God. Mayonnaise as a concept is contradictory to the core values of our country. Anyways, back to the sandwich. It's a pretty good looking sandwich. Excited to eat it. Now one thing I do want to add, if you really want to make this sandwich just epic, you can do something I like to call the Zach Ward Special. Now what the Zach Ward Special entails is some nice Pringles of your choice, preferably sour cream. That's the classic Zach. And then you're also going to want to reach for a nice Mountain Dew here. Pairs nicely with the sandwich, but yeah, that's all optional, you know, obviously. So that's it, guys. That's how I make a sandwich. Hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to follow along at home and try to recreate this masterpiece. But other than that, yeah, just remember that if you enjoy mayonnaise, you are a second-class citizen.